Howdy, lieutenants and economists.
The most volatile, evil, disgusting things on the planet, humans. If you have a video request, you can always go to assholeconsulting.com.
Yeah, I am gonna charge you, kids. And that is the importance of not fucking up.
You are such an asshole!
Finally almost catching up with all the asshole consulting requests. We wanted to thank all of you, customers and clients. Immigrate to the U.S. Hi, Aaron. I've been watching your YouTube videos for a long while after one member of Free Domain Radio meetup group posted one of your videos on Facebook. Oh, good. Good to see you guys over at FDR helping me out here. I want to ask you about advice regarding emigrating to the United States. I am a Polish national living in London for a little over 5 years now. I am currently a software developer working for a Swiss bank, we'll just say. For 4 years. I'm a biker. Recently got a Suzuki 650 V-Strom. All right, maybe Storm. I don't know what they call it in the UK, but haven't been riding much outside of community to work and back. I'm thinking of preparing for doing some motorbiking tour in the near future. I'm 32 years old and have amassed 40,000 pounds. That's like $70,000. That's pretty good in savings, which I'm keeping in a current bank account for the moment. I have absolutely no debt of any kind. How come you Poles always kick ass, man? Except for like that introductory part of World War II, but then you come back. I have an engineering degree in computer science. I also had a technical degree in electronics. I haven't really dealt with any electronics in over a decade now. I'm very disillusioned with today's society, especially in an almost 10 million metropolis like London. I'm also quite concerned about my personal liberties and financial opportunities, which seem to be getting limited with each year that passes by. Because of these, I'm complimenting immigrating to the United States, but I have no concrete idea how to achieve it. By immigration, I mean to eventually become a U.S. citizen and thus contribute to the community I end up living in society at large. The company I am working for is now creating its presence in Tennessee, and I have already asked my managers about the options of being transferred to Tennessee. I'm waiting for the answer. I'm very interested about guns and would really like to get experience with using some. It is illegal to own a handgun in the UK, and pretty much next to impossible to own a shotgun. I have no mortgage, no family to support, been exposed to MGTOW. I recall one of your video responses to a gent from South Korea who wanted to be a U.S. citizen by joining the U.S. military. I respect people who enroll in the military. My father has been a warrant officer with almost 3 decades experience in the Polish military police, but don't consider myself a person who succumbed to following orders issued by those who I find to be inferior to me in terms of intelligence. Well, you're in a bank and you're not finding that the case? What division are you working at a bank where there's not inferiorly intelligent people? Please be kind enough to share your wisdom, blah, blah, blah. Okay, there's a couple ways you can do it. You, of course, can apply for citizenship. That takes forever, but go contact an immigration lawyer in the United States, and they'll give you the straight dope and all that other stuff. Another way is you can join the military like the South Korean client I had. You may be a bit too old, but that's if you want to go into the military. And it sounds like you got a damn good career as it is right now. So the third option, which is what I'm kind of recommending you do, is that you apply for citizenship, but you go through your employer. Try and get your green card and become vitally important because we don't have the skills, and get one of those H-1B visas that will inevitably lead to citizenship. So I like your idea of going down to Tennessee, trying to transfer and get your citizenship that way. You could also marry into the United States. There are plenty of gals that for some money will marry you. Of course, that's technically illegal and you could get busted, but it's something to consider. There's another guy even a bit more extreme. He was a client of mine. He was raised here because he was a refugee many years ago. So he's an American effectively by culture and raising. But his parents, as typical fucking lazy dipshits from fucking refugee places, never moved back, never changed their status. So now the kid's fucked. The kid cannot really apply for college. He can't get a job because he doesn't have the right visa, even though this is largely outside of his control. So his solution was to marry his buddy who was gay, or he's not gay. His buddy said, well, look, we're in New York. I'll marry you, and then you can get citizenship because it's a gay marriage state. And then after the 4 years or whatever, they got divorced, or they're about to get divorced. But then you get citizenship that way. So those are several ways you can do it. I like to do it the legal or the right way because then there's no hanky-pankery. You don't have to bring in someone who's going to snitch on you, rat on you. So I would try to go and become like the indispensable employee over at your bank there if you ever do get into Tennessee. The other things you may want to consider, though, the United States will probably certainly going to last longer than the UK. You guys just elected a guy who basically hates Western civilization as your mayor in London. You guys are going to quickly be in the death throes, and it won't be British anymore. It'll be Muslim or Pakistani. So I would get out of there. So you're going from a hotter pan to a less hot pan in the United States. And I think more or less you and I being roughly the same age, unless you live incredibly long, I don't think the United States will collapse as quickly, because even by 2045, I think half the population will still be white, even though a good percentage of that population will be brainwashed to hate themselves. But still, it's kind of like, yeah, this would be the last refuge for this last generation. Otherwise, if you can do it, I'd be looking more at like things like New Zealand, Singapore, if you could get into there, Switzerland, that's possible. There are other places that are just better because they appreciate Western civilization more. And they don't pursue necessarily this diversity uber alles and diversity over and all cultures are equal. No, they still are relatively pursuing excellence, or at least they're not just letting every dipshit that wants to blow us up into. So the United States is big enough. 310 million people. It's going to take a while for that to amortize away against cultures that hate capitalism, hate Western civilization, hate excellence, and frankly, hate Americans. So you'd be okay here for a while, but you'd have, I wouldn't be living in major cities. I wouldn't be investing in major cities. I'd be investing in the country, or at least the exurbs or something like that. You just got to make sure you're willing to move and stay ahead of the collapse. And then as for your guns, yeah, you can come here and shoot guns, especially down in Tennessee. Different states have different rules of what you want to look into, but Tennessee is pretty free. They do like their guns down there. And yeah, you can carry a gun because we treat you like a fucking adult. And we had to fight those guys you're working with over in the UK. We had to fight the British Empire to get away from them. So yeah, we do have the Second Amendment, which guarantees us the right to bear arms. And so yeah, you could carry guns, you could shoot guns. Different rules based on different states, so you're going to want to make sure what your carry conceal laws are. And as long as you're not in Illinois, New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts, and California, you're going to be pretty okay. But again, consult the state laws if you do happen to get here. But yeah, you could go down. There's people that go shooting. There's gun ranges. It's a fun old time. It's an expensive hobby because guns and bullets aren't cheap, and you can just fly through bullets. But yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you can do that. You can come out here and shoot guns. You could be a real cowboy, one of the few dying ones. So anyway, hope that helps. Best of luck to you. Toodles.